In this video, I'm going to tell you how to enhance pleasure in the bedroom and make your partner feel much more connected to you. Take a moment to subscribe, like, and comment on this video and share it with as many people as you can, because we're on our way to 1 million subscribers. The more you interact, the more YouTube shares this content. So let's get started, everyone. All of us as human beings have 5 main senses. And what are they? What are they? Forgot, didn't you? Let's go. Hearing, sight, smell, taste, and touch. But guess what, guys? Touch, physical touch. You know, that sense that most awakens excitement and pleasure, that really amplifies those feelings in our bodies, is actually the most neglected. What do you mean, Joyce? Let's go. Lately, we've been bombarded, right? Especially with images. So, our sense of sight is constantly bombarded all day long with images, with videos that we're watching. Sometimes you walk into a place, and there are those signs that really grab your attention. So, you're basically stimulating your vision all day long. It's the same thing with our sense of smell. From the moment you get out of bed, you go take a shower, you use soap, you put on lotion, you put on body cream, you put on perfume. So you're constantly stimulating your sense of smell all the time. And this makes you create memories. You have triggers, because sometimes you meet someone and you notice their scent, the perfume they wear, right? Then you go somewhere else and you smell that same perfume. What does that create? A memory. You remember the person. It's the same thing when you get into someone's car. You get into the car, you can already smell it, and that immediately creates a memory. So, yeah, our vision and our sense of smell are constantly being stimulated throughout the day. And not just those, but also our sense of taste, right? All the time we're eating, we're having sensory experiences through food. For example, these days you're at home, and with just one click, you order food and that delicious meal arrives. And then when you eat something tasty, you say, wow. What does that make you create? A memory. Sometimes you even want to eat the same dish over and over again. Okay, Joyce, but what does this have to do with sex? What does this have to do with our pleasure? It has everything to do with it, guys. Because through our sense of taste, right, through kissing, you create memories of kisses, and sometimes when you run your tongue over someone's body, you end up creating emotional memories too. And another sense that's also really explored is hearing, right? So you go out, you're listening to music, you walk into a restaurant, and there's that background music, and all of that, guys, is carefully planned exactly to set the mood. So if you go to a restaurant, there's that calm music to help you get in the mood, or if you go to a gym, there's more upbeat, energetic music. All of this is to stir your emotions, to affect your mind. However, our main sense, the one related to pleasure, the one that makes you start to feel warm, to get aroused, the sense that awakens sensations, especially right before sex. Do you know which one it is? It's touch. But touch is often the most neglected. Out of all the senses I just mentioned, touch is the one we use the least. For example, in everyday life, you're not really used to touching people that much. Usually, what do? You might give a hug, sometimes a handshake at work, but actually touching someone's skin, caressing them, that's something that's being neglected, especially nowadays. And especially for people who are married or in a relationship. How many times have you woken up, your husband or wife wakes up, and sometimes you barely have time to give them a kiss, to show some affection, to give a warm hug to the person you love, and then you're already heading out the door. So, guys, the sense of touch is a sense that's being neglected more and more, but it's actually the most important sense when it comes to having a fulfilling relationship, to increasing intimacy and connection with the person you care about. And I say this because I've had a tantric massage clinic for over 14 years, and many couples, when they come to my clinic, they say, Joyce, sometimes we barely even touch each other. We barely even kiss. And then these couples, when they go for a massage or learn how to give a massage, they send me the most beautiful testimonials. Joyce, oh my God, through this technique, you managed to save our relationship. We're so much closer, much more intimate, and much more connected. And what I teach, guys, is nothing more than simply touching the other person. And when I say touching the other person, it has nothing to do with like being rough or going at it intensely. No, the person, whether it's a man or a woman, when they're touched, they can feel your intention. They can tell if you're being too eager. They can sense if you're rushing things, especially women, right? They can tell if the man just wants to get straight to the end, or if he really wants to explore her body with love and affection. So in this video, I wanted to show you a little bit about what these 5 senses are, how they're stimulated every day in our daily lives, and how you can increase touch and affection. Take a moment to reflect. Well, couldn't I wake up just 10 minutes earlier and cuddle with the person I love? Shouldn't I come home and hug my partner more, put down my phone and give more attention to my wife or my partner, my boyfriend or my husband? What about connecting, looking each other in the eyes, sleeping together, showing affection? Sometimes, honestly, it's not even just about holding hands, but also walking hand in hand. That's really important because these days you see couples and sometimes you can't even tell who's together, right? One's off to one side, the other's off to the other. So little gestures like these can help you reconnect. And don't put this off, guys, or think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll deal with it later. Because the longer you go without touching each other, the more distant you become as a couple, and then it gets much harder to bring the relationship back. So take advantage of affection, of touch, of sensory contact. Give each other massages. If you don't know how to give a massage, I'll leave the link. All my courses will be in the description. Come in, enjoy. There are amazing techniques I teach for couples, especially those who have been together for a while, who want to break out of their routine and learn new things. Don't forget to stimulate and pay attention to this sense, which is one of the most important. Touch. We need contact. We need affection. I'm sure that when you start focusing more on this sense, which is right there, that people have been putting on the back burner, your relationships will become more intense, more connected, and you'll experience much more pleasure and depth in your relationship. A kiss. Take advantage, follow me, subscribe, and click the link in the description to check out all my courses.